Hello everybody, this is Gavin. In today's video, I'm going to show you something about English pronunciation that will fundamentally change everything you know about it, and I guarantee this will revolutionize the way you learn English. So without further ado, let's get started. Now the key message of my today's talk is very simple. English is a stress-timed language as opposed to a syllable-timed language. That's it. But what did this mean? Look, I don't really want to confuse you with all of those jargons. So simply put, in English, some syllables are longer than others. Whereas in syllable-timed languages, almost all syllables are of approximately the same length. Now, when you hear somebody speaking in English from afar, we can't quite get what's happening, but you can hear the overall shape or the musicality of the whole language. And it goes something like this. Da 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 da, or da 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 da, right? And that da 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 da, the elongated bit, are the so-called stressed syllables, whereas the da 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 bits are the unstressed syllables. In Mandarin, however, things are a bit different. You normally can only hear the da 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 bits. For example, da 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 da, da 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 da. Now, I was trying to say, 我今天吃过饭了. Da 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 da. And it sounds very flat and very almost monotonic. So if you were to apply the da 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 principle in English onto Chinese, then it would be really weird, to say the least. For example, 我今天吃过饭了, or 我今天吃过饭了. Well, nobody talks like that. So you get to see the difference between Mandarin and English when it comes to this point. Building on this point, in a syllable-timed language, if a sentence has more syllables, what happens is it would take you longer to say than if it has less syllables, and that makes perfect sense. But in English, it might not be the case. If you don't believe me, check this out. Dogs chase cats. Dogs chase cats. 3 words, 3 syllables, and it takes, if you clap with me, dogs chase cats. It takes 3 claps to say. Now, if you were to throw in some more syllables to make it more interesting, we would turn this sentence into the dogs chase the cats. Now we have 5 words, 5 syllables, and it takes the dogs chase the cats. Still, it takes just exactly the same time to say. Interesting. Let's keep going. We could say, the dogs are chasing the cats. Now, not only did we introduce the word are, we also turned the word chase into its gerund form. Now it has 6 words, but 7 syllables. But it takes, the dogs are chasing the cats. The dogs are chasing the cats. Still, it takes 3 claps to say. Why don't we stop here? We can still continue. The dogs have been chasing the cats. The dogs have been chasing the cats. The dogs have been chasing the cats. Now the sentence has 7 words and 8 syllables, yet it still takes 3 claps to say. So what's going on here? Isn't it interesting? As we keep adding syllables to this sentence, it still takes just the same time to say as the original one. It's because each sentence has got 3 stressed syllables. Dogs, chase, and cats. And no matter what we did to those so-called function words, those words that do not really carry any meaning, they're there for grammatical purposes only, the number of content words or the number of stressed syllables remained unchanged. And that tells you a lot about how those native speakers of English listen and speak. When they speak, they want to get to the next bit of key information as quickly as possible, and that's why they tend to reduce those function words and only stress those content words. And when they listen, they're on the lookout for those stressed syllables that really pop out of the line because they have more shape. And they listen from one stressed syllable to the next. And everything else they know are just function words, which are not very so important. Many learners of English think they have to pronounce each and every syllable as fully, as clearly, as loudly as they possibly can in order to be well understood. Well, if you do that, it will only defeat your purpose, because when every syllable is stressed equally, is of equal length, then there's no way for our brains to know, okay, this word is more important, and that word is only a function word. No, we'll be having more difficulty understanding you. In fact, stressing every syllable is what gives rise to the so-called Asian accent in English. I remember the Canadian comedian Russell Peter once likened us Asians speaking English to chopping vegetables. Some people may find it a bit offensive or racist, but there's certain truth in it. Okay, by now you may say, well, you've made a couple of interesting points there, but why do I care? Or what do all of these mean to me? Okay, let me give you two biggest takeaways for today. First, next time when you speak English, do not stress every syllable or every word. Try to reduce the number of stresses you have in a sentence. For example, if you say, try to reduce the number of stressed words in your sentence, then I don't get the sentence, because you simply stressed all of them, or you simply didn't stress any of them. Instead, if you say, try to reduce the number of stressed words in your sentence, then I get it right away, because my mind, my ears are directed straight to those content words, those stressed syllables, and that's what makes it so easy to understand. Takeaway number 2, you need to learn the weak forms and connected speech of those function words, or for that matter, all words, if you want to do them properly. Now, you see, some of you may have some difficulty trying to get that last sentence in my examples into 3 claps. The dog's been chasing the cat, that one. But it's okay, because I secretly changed have been into have been. So instead of saying, the dogs have been doing something, I said, the dogs have been chasing the cat. The dogs have been chasing the cat. Now, techniques like these will be covered in my upcoming videos, so definitely stay tuned, there'll be more to come. And that's it for today, and thank you so much for watching. If you find this useful, don't forget to leave a comment down below, and 一键三连, and I guess I'll see you in the next video. Bye.